So welcome back to another rebuild today here on the channel. Today we have the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that basically has always had a lot of talent ever since they did acquire Paul George and they signed Kawhi Leonard. They just seemingly have never been able to get over that hump though. Kawhi Leonard obviously had a torn ACL injury this year in the playoffs. Today we don't play with injuries on in these rebuilds. It's going to be a 3-year one. Our obvious goal is try to get them a championship. So a couple quick things before we do get in this video. Number one being, I know that I have not been uploading a ton. I do apologize. The school year has just started out. I am a little bit busy. Number two, my voice sounds a little bit weird. I do have a little bit of a cold right now. I'm getting over it. It's also a little bit of the reason why I haven't been posting as much, because I just have been sounding terrible for the past couple days. But today, normal rebuild. We're obviously still kind of grinding out some of these teams. I believe this is our 4th rebuild here on 2K22. So for what I need from you guys is let me know what teams you want to continue seeing from me in these rebuilds on 2K22. And our final note before we do get into this one, if you guys want to see any sort of other challenges, I'd be happy to do that. Obviously, the normal rebuilds do get a little bit boring from time to time. They're not always as easy as I thought they're going to be, but again, challenges do tend to spice it up a little bit. And as always, you guys are new around here, and subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video. I definitely appreciate that one. So without further ado, 3-year normal Clippers rebuild. We're probably going to be making a couple trades to start off this first season. I tend to leave some teams the way they are, but I think with this Clippers team especially, we're going to be making a few moves. Let's get into this one. So quickly, we will go over the roster that we do have here for the Clippers. Obviously, as I mentioned, Kawhi Leonard is on the team fully healthy. We do not yet know how long he's actually going to be out in real life for the start of the 2021-2022 NBA season, but as I mentioned, I never play with injuries on. I feel like it just kind of takes an aspect kind of out of the rebuilds that you never really can control yourself. So we'll get into this one real quick. Reggie Jackson is here. He's going to be the starting point guard for this team for at least the first season. Is he a long-term answer here for 3 years? He very well could be, but is he going to be for me today? Probably not. I think I'd eventually like to get an upgrade. They did acquire Eric Bledsoe this offseason as well, who was probably only going to be here for a year. He might even get traded before that, and they did draft Jason Preston with the 3rd overall pick in the 2nd round in the 2021 NBA draft. We now move on to Paul George, who's going to be our starting shooting guard unless some crazy regression hits. I have not yet used Paul George in 2K22, so I do not know how hard regression is going to hit him. We also do have Luke Kennard, who at times looked like he was not really worth the contract that he did get. He got a few DMPs, I would say. Definitely to start out those playoffs this year. We're hoping he can maybe bounce back a little bit. And then we do have Keon Johnson, their 21st overall pick from the 2021 NBA draft as well. Definitely going to try to get him some playing time today. Small forward spot is pretty obvious. Kawhi Leonard re-signed with this team in the offseason. I don't really think anybody else thought that he was going to be going anywhere else. I mean, obviously there were a couple of rumors. I think the Mavericks were in there for a little while. Maybe another team. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. But to me, Kawhi in LA just makes 100% sense. I didn't think he was leaving. He did not. We do have Terrence Mann. Definitely had a couple really, really solid games when Kawhi Leonard was out in the playoffs. He's probably not going to start for me. I don't know if he's going to be here the entire time. It's really just depending on what he wants money-wise and what, he looks like in the trade department. Then we do have Justice Winslow as well, who I think is more of like a point forward, I guess, if you will. But I guess he's listed as a small forward here in 2K. Power forward spot, I'm not huge on. I don't love Marcus Morris Sr. and Nick Batum as my only two options there. If I had like an 83, 84 overall and one of these two off the bench, I'd be a lot happier with it. But I don't love these two, just as the only options there. It's kind of same with the center spot. Serge Ibaka is getting a little bit old. Is only on a 1-year deal. Definitely could see him moved, kind of before we do start simming this year. Number one. Zubats, on the other hand, is only 24 years old. He's just one of those guys that I feel like is kind of just there, though. He's never going to progress into an absolute star or anything like that. So, if I can keep him off the bench, I probably will. But, today I don't think he's going to be starting for us. And then Hartenstein, Giles, probably not really going to be seeing much playing time. So, with that being said, it is a very good roster. There's a lot of talent on it, a decent amount of depth. But I do think, in order to make this team 100% a contender in year number one, we're going to go ahead make some trades. Our first trade of this Clippers rebuild is going to be with the Atlanta Hawks, Serge Ibaka, Luke Kennard, and a second heading over to Atlanta for Clint Capella and Jahlil Okafor. Clint Capella can 100% be a starting center in the entirety of today's video. It's on a very team-friendly contract. Only 27 years old. I think this is a home run first trade. So that's actually going to end up being the only trade we do make for this first year. I think this team's in a spot right now where, we could maybe go out and shop for a different kind of stretch forward, power forward, whatever it may be, but end of the day, I don't want to give up a ton of assets. I don't want to give up a ton of depth. I think the one move with Capella is definitely going to make us a lot better here. So here's how it's looking here. Number one, Reggie Jackson, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris, Clint Capella. Starting 5, in my opinion anyways, was pretty obvious. Our bench unit, Nick Batum, Vita Zubats, Terrence Mann, Eric Bledsoe, and then I am getting Keon Johnson minutes, as I mentioned here. I want to see him progress. I think he definitely could be eventually maybe even the 6th man for this team, depending how that progression does work out for us. So it is a decently old team. I mean, Bledsoe's a veteran, Batum's a veteran. Obviously, Marcus Morris, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Reggie Jackson. So there is a lot of older players on this team. But I still think they're not too old to the point that I'm going to have to, blow up the entire roster this offseason. So I'm excited and kind of content with what this team is right now. I definitely think we should be championship contenders, and that pretty much does it for year number 1. See if we can go win a championship. So the first season was definitely a good one here for us. We did wrap it up as a 1 seed in the Western Conference. I don't know our record yet. I will show you that as soon as we do get to the playoff spot. Giannis does win another MVP award at 27, almost 28 points, 12.5 boards, 5 assists. He tends to win a lot of these in these videos. Evan Mobley, Rookie of the Year. This is the first time I've seen anybody but Cade Cunningham win the Rookie of the Year award. Wow. Evan Mobley, congratulations, man. Drummond always wins 6th man in the first year. Giannis Stevens Player of the Year. Wendell Carter Jr. tends to win Most Improved a lot. And Ty Lue Coach of the Year. We go 62 and 20, so you can see our record right there. So 1 seed, we can obviously sim the play-in after we go over some stats, kind of go over who we're going to be facing in this first round. I'll show you guys the full standings, even though you did just see our record. We were 8 games up on the Pelicans, who, as I'm sure a lot of you know, 2K is a pretty big fan of. We had the best record in the entirety of the NBA. We'll also go over some stats real quick, see how some of our guys did. Holy shit. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, both around 20-plus a game, exactly what you would expect. Clint Capella, Reggie Jackson, Morris, Ivica Zubac. So, the rest of the scoring kind of spread out a little bit, but I'm fine with that. As long as the team's putting up, good results, I don't really care who's scoring the basketball. So we'll sim the play-in real quick, see who we do have in the first round. It's going to be the Utah Jazz. Sorry, my voice cut out. As I mentioned, I lost it. It's a tough process. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gay, and Rudy Gobert. Going to be the starting 5 here for the Utah Jazz, who we do have in round number 1. So they actually win game 1. We win game 2. We go up 2-1. 2-2. We got a real battle here. We're down 3-2. We're tied at going to game 7. Not something I was hoping I was going to be saying against a play-in team. We do end up winning. We do not choke it, and here comes Minnesota. They got Pat Beverly, our old friend, Anthony Edwards, Norman Powell, Taurean Prince, Karl Anthony Towns. They have Rozier off the bench, which is an interesting move. I guess he's more of a combo guard, I would say. So, yeah, I'm definitely trying to beat the Timberwolves. They really shouldn't be too much of a problem. We end up sweeping them. We got Phoenix, so here comes, I believe this is what? This is a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals. CP3, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre. And they also picked up Robert Williams off the bench, which, an interesting addition to say the least. We got a fully healthy Kawhi Leonard, though. I'm hoping the result changes this time, but we're down 3-1 here. We make it 3-2. As I mentioned in a previous video, if you didn't see me, mention this at all, I'm not hopping into any games that are not a championship game. So I'm only hopping into these games in the NBA Finals. I think it's going to make the videos way too long if I do anywhere else. So I'm not going to go ahead and simcast this because that will make me want to hop in. We are going to Game 7. Can the Phoenix Suns blow a 3-1 lead? And can we go back to the NBA? Or not back. Can we go to the NBA Finals? We do, and here comes Philadelphia. Simmons, Milton, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. I will say, I said this before, one rebuild that I will do that is kind of, a hypothetical what if, player traded rebuild is Ben Simmons. As soon as he does get traded, I'll absolutely do that rebuild, because a lot of you guys were actually tweeting me or DMing me on Twitter saying, hey, man, I know you said that you're only going to go ahead and do normal rebuilds right now, but if a trade, a big blockbuster trade happens, will you do that? Yes, I will obviously do that. So we're going to go ahead, simulate game by game right now. We do lose game 1. We do win game 2. We're down 2-1 here to Philly. We make it 2-2. We go up 3-2, and of course, I will hop in if we're going to be taking home a championship today, because obviously we don't know if we're going to be back here. So let's see if we can get it done here. It doesn't really look like we're going to be winning this game, unfortunately. Let's make a little bit of a comeback. Comeback has been made. Let's see. I'm absolutely terrible at this game. I feel like I'm going to hurt us more than I'm going to help us, but I'll hop in. I'll see you guys in there. All right. So as I'm sure a lot of you know, I am not very good at this game. I'm absolutely tremendously, oh my God, I was almost backcourt. Tremendously bad at 2K. It's a thing that I have had for years. I just don't know why. I just cannot figure it out. I just never really grind the game enough to where I can get good. I actually used to be pretty decent on 2K 16, back really before I actually made strictly content on rebuilds. But yeah, I'm bad at this game. Typically me hopping in is actually worse than the game just simulating itself. All right, so I put the starting lineup into the game. I feel like that's definitely the best move for us right now. I just need to slow it down. I think whenever I try to rush and go way too quickly, it ends up being really, really bad, and the result ever ends up being good. If I slow it down, if I just do what I'm somewhat decent at, that being pick and rolls, it tends to work out whichever way I do that. So I will slow it down. It's pretty much the only thing I know how to do. Philadelphia now takes a timeout. I won't make you sit through that. All right, we got 2:20 left to go here in Game 6. We are obviously looking to win our first championship kind of as a franchise. I think that would be kind of cool if we can get that done. Ben Simmons is going to... Oh my God, Clint Capella blocks the shit out of him. Let's go, baby. Ben Simmons, now he drives to the rim. Now he drives to the rim. I'm sorry, 76ers fans. It's just too much of a too much of a layup, if you will. All right, let's get this done here. Danny Green is not getting the ball in. Okay, he got the ball in. Tobias Harris, come on. And he's going to go up. We're going to block him again. Oh, my God. Am I actually playing good 2K for the first time legitimately ever in my life? All right, I need a good pick here from Clint Capella. That is an absolutely, terrible pick. Okay, I'm just getting absolutely harassed here. Kawhi going up with the slam, baby. Let's go. We're making it a 1-point game with under 2 to go. We are trying to get this done. We are trying to show that the LA Lakers are not the only good team in the city of Los Angeles. Let's get this done. Tobias Harris, I'm going to play on-ball D. And we're going to block that one as well. Capella gets the board. We're pushing it up with PG. I'll kick it over here to Kawhi. Kawhi, the three. Is he going to get it to go? Kawhi Leonard, baby. Let's go. We're up to 140 left to go. Oh, my God. And I will show you guys. I'll actually show you guys right now. How do I show you this? I am playing on All-Star, so I'm not playing on some cheap rookie mode that I'm just gonna blow the CPU out of the water with even how bad I am. I'm really going for this right now. So going inside. Is that Drummond? Oh my God! It's a block fest out here. It's a legitimate block fest. All right, we're gonna slow this down. We're not gonna be dumb. I like that move. All right, we're gonna try. Oh, bro, I couldn't move him in. He just kept running out of bounds. I have no idea why Clint Capella just kept running out of bounds. I was legitimately moving the joystick left. I have absolutely no idea. I also don't know why Kawhi Leonard's on Danny Green. I feel like that's just a little bit of overkill. I'd rather have him on Tobias Harris or honestly even Ben Simmons just because of how much this game does love Ben Simmons. They just keep missing layups. And we're going to foul Andre Drummond, who, if he got the N1 to go there, I would have been very annoyed. All right, so Drummond hit the first free throw. It's a miracle. I'm sure he's going to probably hit the second one just because we're on All-Star, and that's kind of how my luck goes. He bricks the second one. Morris with the board. Let's slow it down. We only have a 1-point lead here, and we are officially under a minute left to go. We're going to drive to the rack. Reggie Jackson going straight up, and it's going to work. We're back up by 3. This is what we like to see. This is what we like to see. Reggie Jackson has 19 on the night. I'm very happy I didn't trade him here in this first season because, oh boy, do I need him to play well in moments like these. We're going to slide it in. Oh my God, he just threw the ball away. He just threw the ball away. Let's get it up to Paul George. Can we hit the 3 and end it? Let's go, Paul George, baby. Drains a 3. 40 seconds left to go in Game 6, and we are 40 seconds away from getting our first championship here for the LA Clippers. We got to lock it down, man. This game's definitely not over yet. We're going to try to block Shake Milton. He's going to miss that one as well. They're going to start fouling. I think this one's pretty much over. I went 1 for 2 with Clint Capella from the stripe. We are now up by 7 points with 28 seconds left to go. They're going to take one more timeout. I think this one's pretty much over, but if anything major happens, I'll show you guys. After all that, I actually cannot believe I was able to come back. Even though it was only, a 2-3-point deficit we had, I somehow did not blow it. And we get the Clippers their first championship. Kawhi Leonard is your finals MVP, so we can kind of take that pressure off our backs a little bit. I mean, obviously, I'd like to go ahead and win at least one more in this video, but main pressure, the video's over even after we made one small trade to start this video. So we'll head up to league meetings right now. As you guys know, I do reject all of these pretty much every single time. We'll now hit the draft lottery real quick where we definitely do not have any picks. But again, I know some of you guys do like to see these. Looks like the Thunder are going to have 2 top 3 picks. And then do not end up with even 1. They fall to number 7, and I think that other pick was the Pistons. It probably had some sort of protection on it. So I'll do some coaching stuff real quick, and then we'll get into whatever moves next. I still think this coaching process is a little bit almost too in-depth, but again, I'm never going to complain about 2K try. So we are up to the 2022 NBA draft. The only pick we have is the 30th overall pick in round number 2. I don't really feel like we need it, so I'm just going to go ahead and trade this for 2 future unprotected picks. In the second round from the Utah Jazz, I mean, I'm not getting anybody there at pick 60. That's actually going to be worth any value. So team player options time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back Bledsoe. And, as solid as he is as a backup point guard, I'm not going to be paying him $19 million. And instead, I'm rather just letting him go. I'm going to go ahead and try to find a trade with him involved. So we got Eric Bledsoe a championship. Congratulations, man. And now we will head up to free agency, where I do not believe we really have anybody major. It doesn't really look like that. But that being said, we also really don't have any money. We have a $5.5 million mid-level exception. So it looks like we're going to be making some trades today, and that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to try to go ahead and receive Lonzo Ball here from the Chicago Bulls. I think Reggie Jackson, Justice Winslow, and Jason Preston is, not a very big price to give up in order to get Lonzo Ball, who's still only 24 years old, coming off a bit of a down year in Chicago for his first year there. But again, I think, replacing him, Reggie Jackson, is 100% the W. So is it possible to get this done? It's not. We'll probably have to give up at least a pick or two, where we don't really have many picks. But they get it done. Lonzo Ball, officially the newest member of this team, probably going to be our point guard for the rest of the video. Okay, did not think that was going to work. We gave him a decent amount there for Pascal Siakam, who's now going to be our new starting power forward. I'll go ahead and show you guys the exact deal. It was Morris, Bledsoe, Terrence Mann, and our one remaining first-round pick over to Toronto. We picked up Pascal Siakam, so we kind of, repaired him and Kawhi Leonard after they won their championship back in 2019 in Toronto. They are now both LA Clippers. One is coming off a championship. I think Pascal Siakam is going to be a huge upgrade to this team. So we now have 2 new members of our starting 5. Our bench is still going to have Zubac. It's still going to have Keon Johnson. So what we do need to do now, we've got a new backup shooting guard, and we need to figure out a new backup power forward. It's going to be a 9-man rotation. Kawhi won't have a backup, but it's pretty simple. So we need a point guard. DeLon Wright. Do I want to bring back Beverly? He's a little bit older at 34 now. The power forward spot is never something that has a lot of depth, especially with, we only have a mid-level exception. So that one I'm not as excited about. But, the backup point guard spot, I think DeLon Wright, as he's 30 years old. He's another veteran we can bring off the bench. Is not a bad signing whatsoever. So he's going to be my new backup point guard. He'll back up Lonzo Ball, is obviously getting a lot of minutes. As you can see, I see 2K22 has still not patched the G League rookie glitch, whatever the heck it is, the bunch of 97 overalls for God knows what reason. So Gabriel Deck's not great. What I might actually do here is just go ahead and sign the highest overall, whether it be Wayne Ellington, include him in 2 second-round picks, and go ahead and trade him for some sort of other backup 4. Batum's obviously not here anymore. We basically only have Siakam in that spot. But again, it's not terrible. We'll do that in 2 second-round picks, looking for a new backup power forward. LG Johnson, we also get a first. That's actually not terrible. I actually might take that. Actually surprised I was even able to get an offer. Typically when I look for a certain position, I never really get offered it. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. LG Johnson, welcome to the team. We're all set. I'll see you guys at the rotation starting year number 2. We're here at the start of year number 2 right now. Our starting 5 looks a little bit different than it did last year. We have Lonzo Ball on this team now. We have Pascal Siakam on this team now. I think this team only got better. I would say the bench probably got a little bit worse. I'm definitely willing to make that sacrifice, though, to get guys like Lonzo Siakam in here and hopefully help us winning another championship. Here's how it's going to look. Lonzo Ball, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, Clint Capella, our bench unit. I'm giving the nod to Keon Johnson as our 6th man. I want to see how well he can progress. I have very high expectations for him. I'm hoping it works out. After that, we have Ivica Zubac. We have DeLon Wright, LG Johnson, 2 of our other new additions to this team. So I think this team's hopefully going to be, back in the mix of things, hopefully a top 3 seed in the West. I'd like to win another championship in today's video. I think it'd be cool. I'll catch you guys at the end of year number 2. Season number 2 does come to a close. We are once again a 1 seed here in the Western Conference. We're number 2 in the power rankings. That's totally fine. Luka, first career MVP, is 0.3 rebounds off of a triple-double. He's very good at basketball. Chet Holmgren, Rookie of the Year, is in Indiana. Yusuf Nurkic has made his way to Phoenix. So they had Robert Williams. They obviously probably still have DeAndre Ayton. And now they have Yusuf Nurkic. It's an interesting combo there. Giannis, once again, Defensive Player of the Year. Ja Morant, holy hell, Most Improved. And Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year, 61 and 21. We end the year. We have to go down here. I'm sorry. I forgot it. I thought it showed it there, but it did not. We'll check out the standings and some numbers. We are 61 and 21 as well. Us and Dallas are both very, very good. So we'll take a look at some numbers real quick before we do start simulating. And I think this team, once again, is hopefully going to be back in the mix as just being one of the best teams in the league and hopefully competing for another championship. Paul George, Pascal Siakam, Kawhi Leonard took a little bit of a backseat this year. That's fine by me. Lonzo definitely took a step in the scoring department. Capella doing his thing. Beat the Zubac. Keon Johnson, not terrible as our 6th man. Would have maybe liked a few more points, a few more rebounds and assists, but that's not terrible. And then you can look at rebound leaders and, assist leaders respectively. So let's see who we do have here in the first round of the playoffs, who we're going to be facing. It's going to end up being the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea, Josh Giddey, Lou Dortz, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a new addition, Derek Favors as well. I think this team's going to be good. I just think we're a little bit better. We'll go game by game still, though. I never want to discredit a team because then they typically end up beating me. But we are up 3-0 here. 3-1, 3-2. No. Okay, there we go. We do end up winning. Moving on to the second round, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant. They added Marcus Smart, some really good defense. Dylan Brooks, Brennan Clark, Bobby Portis Jr. They did lose Jaren Jackson Jr., as you saw. He was in Oklahoma City. But I still think we're better than this team. I don't really think it should be too close of a series at all. We are up 2-1. We're up 3-1, and we're moving back on to the West Finals, and here come the New Orleans Pelicans and Zion Williamson. They got Devontae Graham, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Brandon Ingram, Zion Valanciunas. Bridges off the bench. It's actually a really good addition for your bench unit, but I still think we're better. I just don't know how much 2K is going to kind of go ahead and favor the Zion effect, if you will. That typically tends to be a thing every year since he got drafted in 2K. We're down 3-2 right now. We are 3-3. We are going to Game 7, the winner of which will face the Philadelphia 76ers in the finals. They're back in the finals. Can we go back and, kind of repeat last year? We do. We're back in the finals. We got Philadelphia again. Simmons, Matthew Cleveland, Korkmaz, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. it really doesn't look like they made any upgrades, and we definitely made some upgrades, at least in our starting lineup. So we'll go game by game with them again. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to get double game playing videos. I think it would just kind of, again, make the videos way too long. But again, we go back to back, get another championship. The goal now is to obviously three-peat. Paul George is your finals MVP. And just because I know there's people out there going to be, hey, your sim difficulty or whatever is low, there you go. It's just people. I get it. Like, some of you guys are like, hey, there's no way that you're cheating. It wouldn't even be fun. And some people are still, there's no way you'd win 2 championships with that team without lowering your sim difficulty. So there you go. Hopefully that kind of alleviates any thoughts in your mind. I thought LeBron retired for a second. Sometimes he does in that second year, but no. Staff retirement. John Lucas goes out. Hall of Fame inductees just Dwight Howard. Jersey retirements. Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin. Blake could have made the Hall of Fame. That's an interesting question. Do you think Blake Griffin's a Hall of Fame member? I think he probably is. We'll simulate up to the draft lottery right now, see what we got. I do not see the LA Clippers anywhere. Not that I would really expect us to have a high pick this year. I'll do some coaching stuff, and I'll see you guys whatever moves next. All right, so we simulated up to the draft. We have no picks this year. It's not that big of a deal. This team's kind of already completed. The one thing we'll probably work on is maybe the bench a little bit. I do want to keep Keon Johnson. I still think the potential's 100% there, even if he's maybe not our 6th man this year. I don't have a problem with it. I think if we could just improve that spot, it'd make this team even better. So we enter a free agency where we do have Ivica Zubac, we have Aldi Johnson, Jay Scrubb, who I believe was in the G League for us for a little while. But, other than that, everybody on this team, the main guys are all locked up. So that's, kind of the one important thing I was definitely, kind of a little bit nervous about. But we're good there. I'd like to bring Ivica Zubac back. He's definitely a premier backup center in this league. Aldi Johnson's probably good enough. I'd like to maybe replace probably my backup point guard, though. So options aren't great here. I think Chris Dunn getting some backup defense can maybe do what Pat Beverly used to do for this team would be a great addition. So we're going to try to get him. Everybody else is pretty much free to go. But again, I think that's a great move trying to get him on this team. And I think this team's now kind of all set. We still do have DeLon Wright on a contract, but I might actually try to include him and Johnson in a deal. Just because why not? See if we can get maybe a different backup 4, just somebody who's even a little bit better. We'll do DeLon Wright and we'll do Alzi Johnson. Just mixing it up a little bit in a first-round pick. See what we got at that backup 4 spot. We get Bruce Brown as our backup shooting guard, but no. Let's keep scrolling. Morgan Finney-Smith. Trey Murphy. How's he been? Hasn't really played at all. Okay. Jared Vanderbilt. Actually been pretty solid. I actually might do this. We also get Jaden McDaniels. 2 really good options there. All right, let's pull the trigger on that. I'm actually going to use Vanderbilt. I actually think Jared Vanderbilt's extremely underrated in this league. I don't necessarily really need Jaden McDaniels then. I'm probably going to see if I can maybe even upgrade. I know I just gave a whole spiel about Dunn, but if I can keep upgrading, I'm going to keep doing it. If I can get an even better backup point guard, I'll obviously... Saban Lee. Let's actually do that. Let's get Saban Lee. I don't really see anything else that's even better. Saban Lee, welcome to the squad. This bench probably got a little bit better in your opinion. Same with my opinion. I think this team's all set. Hopefully looking to three-peat. I'll see you guys at the start of the 3rd and final year here in LA. So as you can see, the Paul George regression is 100% still a thing in 2K. As you can see, he is down to an 82 overall. I have no idea if it's something about his tendencies that just gets copied every single year into the next 2K. But there's no reason for Paul George coming off of a year of 22 points, 5.5 boards, 5 assists, and a steal and a half, that he should go down to an 82 overall. Whether he was, an 84, 85 overall last year, it makes no sense. He's 33 years old. He's not 43. I mean, what are we doing here, 2K? But that being said, I still think if he is around 20 points a game, he's definitely still going to contribute to this squad, so I'm not going to trade him. Here's how the rotation is going to look. Same exact starting 5 as last year of Lonzo Ball, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, and Clint Capella. Our bench unit definitely got some upgrades. Saban Lee now our 6th man. It was nothing personal against Keon Johnson. I just think Saban Lee is definitely going to fit that spot a little bit better, hopefully. We do have Ivica Zubac, who we re-signed. Keon Johnson still here, and Jared Vanderbilt, who we did trade for. So I think this team's in a good spot. We're looking to three-peat here in LA. Let's see if we can get it done here. So it feels weird to say, but this is the first time we are not a 1 seed here in this video. We're a 2 seed. It's not terrible. It's not the end of the world. We definitely should still be in the mix. Luka Doncic, back-to-back MVPs. Still can't quite get that triple-double, but still a very impressive year nonetheless. Victor Wembanyama, your Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Kemba Walker, 6th man. Giannis Antetokounmpo, his 3rd straight Defensive Player of the Year award. Patrick Baldwin Jr., Most Improved, and Alexander Chrisdale. I don't have no idea who he's coaching. I'm sorry, he's your Coach of the Year. Dallas takes over as that 1 seed in the Western Conference. We'll look at some standings real quick. We were 1 game behind them. We won 52 games. It's not 62 like we won in the first year, but again, it's still nothing I'm going to be upset about. We'll look at some numbers real quick on our guys. Kawhi Leonard led us in scoring. Siakam, Paul George. Little bit down. It's not terrible. There's no way he should be an 82 overall still with those numbers, but again, 2K going to 2K. So we will sim the play in because, again, that still does affect who we're facing in the first round. we get the Houston Rockets, who have a lineup of Facundo Campazzo, Jalen Green, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Paolo Banchero, and Christian Wood. I really want to do a Rockets rebuild soon. If you guys want to see that, let me know down below in the comment section. All right. We win game 1 against Houston here. We lose game 2. We are up 2-1. We are tied at 2 games apiece. We go down 3-2. We're going to game 7 here. Did not think that would be happening, but it happened in the first year as well. We won a championship. So can history repeat itself? It does, at least right now. We got Minnesota, Ronnie Hammonds, Anthony Edwards, Terrence Mann, Robert Williams. They're playing him at the power forward spot. So anything I can tell you about Robert Williams is he's not a power forward, especially in today's NBA. We're up 1-0 here against Minnesota. They tied up at 1 game apiece. We are up 2-1. We're up 3-1. And can we go back to the Western Conference Finals for the 3rd straight year? Not yet anyways. We move back on, and we are now facing the Golden State Warriors, who have Steph Curry. They still have Klay Thompson, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman. Interesting starting 5, how you're rolling that out. Alrighty. We win game 1 against the Warriors. We win game 2. We win game 3. And we are back in the NBA Finals for the 3rd straight year, and we have the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have Garland, Bruce Brown, Keldon Johnson, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen. Got Mike Conley off the bench, Thomas Bryant, Isaac Okoro. Definitely a very deep bench, I would say. They're a good young team. I just think we're probably a little bit better, but let's see if 2K agrees with me. We're 1-1 with them right now. We go down 2-1. We are tied at 2 games apiece. We're down 3-2. We're going to game 7. I told you guys I'm sticking to my morals. We're not hopping into more than 1 championship game in a video. Let's see what happens here. Are we going to 3-peat in today's video? Yes, we do, and we get it done as Pascal Siakam is your finals MVP in our 3rd and final season. I think Kawhi won 1, I think Paul George won 1, and now we have Pascal Siakam winning 1. So my first 3-peat of 2K22. Definitely excited to be able to say those words, even with I didn't really make a ton of big moves, but again, I still think this team came out really, really fun. I had a really good time with this one. So, as always, you guys enjoyed, leave a like down below. It definitely helped me out a ton. If you guys want to see any other rebuilds, whether they be challenges, normal team rebuilds, if you want to see a fantasy draft rebuild even, I'd be happy to do it. Let me know. Again, I do apologize about, not as many videos at school as there are when I'm at home. At the end of the day, I'm here to focus on school, so I definitely do have to focus on that. But pretty much wraps this one up. As always, you guys new around here, could subscribe to the channel. That definitely helps out as well. That pretty much finishes this as a 1-up. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. See you guys all in the next one.